Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astrologist. Welcome to Star Codes, the podcast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers, the astrology and numerology. In this case, the Libra full moon, happening the same time that Venus stations direct. So exciting. Venus rules Libra and thus rules this full moon. So it's really a major event. So the Libra full moon is exact at 1:22 a.m. Universal Time on April 13th, and that is 8:22 p.m. Eastern Time, New York, and 5:22 p.m. Pacific Time, LA. Now, Venus stations direct at 9:02 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 40 minutes, literally 40 minutes after the full moon in Libra. This is extraordinary. So 40 minutes past Universal Time would be 2:02 a.m. on April 13th, Universal Time in London. Wow, is all I can say, because Venus has been in retrograde since March 1st, and now it literally is moving. Well, it's at a standstill, but starting to move forward slowly after this moment, right during its own full moon. So what can we say? There's a lot of beauty, love, and abundance that's going to start flowing again. Something that may have been on hold or maybe not quite as flowing during this whole period. And now Libra is coming in and saying love is certainly moving forward. And Venus also governs pleasure and abundance and beauty. And so all of those beautiful qualities will get new life again. So this is basically about balance, relationships, harmony, peace, romance, cooperation, helping others through kindness, sharing pleasurable moments, social events. And every full moon in Libra is an opportunity to put yourself into other people's shoes, which is the definition of compassion, and understand where they're coming from. And what makes this full moon even more exciting is that it happens at 23 degrees, where the moon is in Libra, the sun is at 23 degrees Aries. Now, Aries is a very courageous sign. 23 degrees is the strongest number in numerology. It's called the Royal Star of the Lion number. And as it happens, the last several full moons going back into November, October of last year have either been at 23 or 24 degrees. Now, 24 degrees is the number of love, 23 the number of tremendous courage and invincibility and strength. And so the last full moons at 23 degrees were the Virgo total lunar eclipse. The full moon eclipse in March was at 23 degrees. The Cancer full moon in January with the sun in Capricorn was at 23 degrees. And the Gemini full moon in December with the sun in Sagittarius was at 23 degrees. So there's a lot of call to action to have the courage, the confidence, the heart-centered fearlessness to move forward despite whatever you're seeing. This is an invitation that is continuing through the full moon cycle. So this full moon in Libra is going to help you be more conscious and present in all your relationships, and it will help people to understand each other more deeply, and also help us to understand how we may project our unresolved fears onto others. Because with the moon in Libra, you can see more clearly where you are out of balance, and you can then make decisions and course correct and regain your equilibrium. Libra really does represent the balances. So it is about cooperation and intense listening. And Libra connects, because of the balances, to the number 2, to the 2000s, and to the 2020s. The number 2 also represents that sense of balance and listening to the other side. So this is also about inner emotional balance. And since Libra is an air sign, and air signs are aligned with the mind and are more quick moving signs, if you have an air sign prominently activated in your astrology birth chart, where your sun sign is in an air sign, your moon sign, your ascendant, or you have a lot of planets or angles, important angles in air signs, you have a tendency to think your way more through your issues and decisions in your life. So the air signs are Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And Libra liberates us from being caught up in thoughts that separate us from others. So where your idea of I'm right, you're wrong, then separates you in a relationship. Libra literally brings you into emotional balance with the other side, because Libra can listen. And listening invites in the other side, right? The other person or the other viewpoint or perspective. And Libra liberates you when you listen and are accepting of what you are hearing and not judging it, right? Because judgment gets you out of balance. And it's really difficult to love or feel peace, actually, if you are not having compassion for the other side, for whomever you're engaging with. In fact, it's impossible to feel peace, to say I want peace, if you don't have compassion first. So this is really a big moment because, like I said, Venus stations direct at the same moment. So it's really asking us to be in a beautiful connection with others, like total acceptance. And if you don't accept, then it does close down your heart, and you will feel that, because the heart is your gateway to love, your gateway to peace and harmony. And you would be shutting those qualities down otherwise. So there's no way to be accepting and welcoming, and that includes self-acceptance, of course, to be totally open to what you find without judgment, unless you use your heart-centered intuition and love can flow again, and you're not putting up barriers or defense mechanisms, or you're operating on fear, right? And that will help liberate you. So Libra liberates through listening. Now, Venus stations direct in Pisces. Pisces is the sign that Venus is exalted in. So Venus loves Pisces. Pisces is an incredible sign for Venus to be in. And now that Venus will be moving direct again, Venus can express her compassion and creativity to the fullest, being also in the sign of exaltation. So your imagination is being drawn to possibilities, otherworldly, Piscean possibilities, spiritual breakthroughs, especially in the realms of beauty and artistry. So immersing yourself in those frequencies in your life by surrounding yourself with beauty, by listening to what is beautiful and what really stimulates your inner artist and creativity and inspires you, you'll be drawn to harmony. So you want to truly make sure that you avoid harsh, loud, or aggressive environments and people. Remember, when you listen intently, harshness and loudness and aggressive noise or clutter or opinions will interfere. It's interference energy from what actually is clarity of mind, right? Is actually true in the moment. So if you find yourself in a loud, harsh environment, then have a way to center yourself, so you don't lose your inner balance, right? So you truly are just tuning into another frequency at that point. So in terms of the aspects that are being formed by the sun and moon, the moon and sun are connected to Chiron, the sacred healer. The moon is opposite Chiron, the sun is conjunct Chiron, and Chiron is actually exactly conjunct the sun at 23 degrees, so it creates a triple 23 code, and that really stimulates the inner sacred warrior energy. Chiron is connected to that sense of the warrior, the love warrior, and healing through love it takes a certain courage to go there. And to open up through whatever modality you can open up, whether it's within you or to do massage or to do Reiki, any kind of healing modality. It truly is asking you not to be hard on yourself and engage in loving connections, loving conversations, but also to be inspired through your inner courage. Remember, the number 23 degrees is also active, the royal star, the lion number. Then the sun and moon are creating a powerful T-square to Mars, where the moon is square to Mars on one side and the sun is square to Mars on the other side. Mars is at 27 degrees in Cancer. Mars is in its fall in Cancer, so it's weakened in Cancer. However, Mars is also almost like reinventing itself. It's been in Cancer for so long. It entered in September, briefly left during the retrograde, went into Leo first, and then moved back into Cancer. And so Mars is really almost like creating a reckoning in Cancer where, well, can I have my courage and also have compassion at the same time, right? So it's not just about me moving forward, but also the other joining or being aware of how you impact others. So the moon in its T-square with the sun to Mars is bringing that home. And that means you really want to look at whether there is aggression or whether you can stimulate highly creative energy, because Mars and the moon and the sun together are really very, very creative and light you up from the inside. So it's, if you feel impulsive or impatient, then focus on something that can move you forward in your career, in your life, something where you can make great progress, because you have a lot of energy with this T-square. You can be very conscious of your goals and you can act on your feelings positively, right? With a lot of passion instead of being argumentative or reactive or overheated. Then we have this incredible finger of God. That fingers of gods are very rare. They're created by two quincunxes or inconjuncts, which are 150 degrees. And then in between them is a handle that points to the opposition. So the finger of God in this case is Venus and Saturn on one side, pointing to the moon. Venus and Saturn are in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. And on the other side, Uranus in Taurus is pointing to the moon. They're both at 150 degrees to the moon. And then the sun is obviously opposite the moon because this is a full moon. And the sun is then the handle. The sun and Chiron, actually, that conjunction. So it involves Venus and Saturn in Pisces, the sun and Chiron in Aries, and then Uranus in Taurus. So that's already 5 planets. They're pointing to the moon. So 6 planets, well, the sun is a star, but 6 light bodies are involved in this finger of God, 2 conjunctions. So it's very, very powerful. Now, since this finger of God involves the ruler of the Libra full moon and the sun and moon themselves, it is even more powerful than it otherwise might be. And of course, when Venus, moon, and sun are involved, this truly means you are being asked to focus on Venusian qualities. The artistic nature of your imagination needs to be activated, and it will stimulate financial flow if you do so. You're being called to create from the heart, to manifest from a place of true feeling of being inspired and feeling beauty. So take creative risk. That's really important. And then Saturn, which is conjunct Venus in Pisces, is saying, okay, we're going to make you stronger and more disciplined as you shift your energy to a higher vibration, and you reap happy results because you're getting to work. You're taking care of your responsibilities. And Uranus makes it exciting. Uranus is incredibly inspiring as well. It governs your intuition and thinking outside the box and feeling totally liberated as you seek a new way to approach a subject or new ways, right? You have very, very strong instincts. Remember that T-square to Mars from the sun and moon is in play as well. And that really inspires your strong instincts as well. Now, Venus, the ruler of the Libra full moon, is very activated. And that, of course, enhances Venusian qualities. Venus, of course, is conjunct Saturn. Mercury's conjunct Venus, helping you to communicate lovingly, to share ideas in a way that brings upliftment and joy, and it helps negotiations, and it enhances social interaction as well. Venus is also conjunct Neptune, which is amazing. Neptune rules Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces, and that's an incredible combination of love, beauty, romance, compassion, artistry, the higher planes of art. And it also fills you with that expectation that everything will be okay. It's all going to work out. And then Venus is trine to Mars. Venus is sextile Uranus. So Venus is so activated. And at the same time, Mars is trine to Mercury, and Mars is trine Saturn. Mars is trine Neptune. Remember, Mars plays a huge role because of that T-square. Mars is also opposite Pluto. So there's a lot here that fires up your goal-directed energy, your courage. And these beautiful transits that are being made, especially to Venus, the ruler, and Mars, the planet in the T-square, and then that incredible finger of God, they're helping us to just let go and feel that sense of liberation when we're not adhering to something that is not coming from us, that is actually predicated on believing an external way, an external, somebody else's belief system or dogma or whatever the case may be. So with the focus on Venus and also on Mars, we're being liberated to bring that balance. Venus and Mars represent that inner balance of the divine feminine, Venus, and the sacred masculine, Mars. So it's an incredible time to wake up to that balance and how we all have it. This has nothing to do with whether you're male, female. It's not gender specific. It's literally based on like the positive and negative in a battery, or the balance of Libra itself, right? So it's an incredible time to learn more about Venus and Mars, and also what those letters mean, V and M for Venus and Mars, how they're intertwined. If you look at the letter M, V is in the middle of it. And Venus has a 5-pointed star. Venus has 13 phases. There's that number 13. This Libra full moon takes place on the 13th of April. And for more on all of these incredible connections with Venus and Mars, I have a free masterclass, venusmarscode.com. It's instant access and it's really fun, and it goes into this and so much more. It's not to be missed. It's all about the cosmic changes unfolding now and how to keep that inner balance. So enjoy that free masterclass at venusmarscode.com. Have a beautiful Libra, full moon, and Venus direct. And I look forward to seeing you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.